Okay, guys, we're going to add and subtract mixed numbers. We've done a little practice with this. We're going to do a little bit more. Denise mixes 1 4/5 ounces of blue paint with 2 1/10 ounces of yellow paint. How many ounces of paint did Denise mix? What operation should we use to solve this? Well, if we're putting this with this, and with this, we're going to add. And do the fractions have the same common denominator? Well, when I look at them, no. So we have to find a common denominator. So first thing I want to do is estimate the sum, just so I know if I'm on or not. So 1 4/5. Well, 4/5 is close to a whole. So 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2, I'm going to look at 1/10. That's barely any of the tenths. So that's just going to be a 0. So 0 plus 2 is 2. So I'm going to estimate about 4 ounces. So the first thing we're going to do is find a common denominator. And if I do my multiples, so 5, 5, 10, I don't have to go any further. So I know my multiples are 10. So I'm going to first do my multiples of 10 to get an equivalent. Now that I got a common denominator, I have to get an equivalent fraction. Well, 1/10 is just going to stay 1/10. 5 times 2. So what I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. And 8. So now I have 9/10. And if I add over here, so I have my fraction. I'm going to add my whole numbers. 2 plus 1 is 3. And if I look at my answer compared to my estimate, well, this is almost a whole. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Pretty close. I get, last question I have to ask myself, can I simplify? No, because the factors of 9 is 1 and 9 and 3. None of those can be divided by 10 equally. So we got 2 or 3 and 9/10. What other common denominators could we use? We could have used 20, 30, but then we would have had to simplify. So we just don't go there. All right. Now if we're going to subtract, same method, we're going to estimate. Let's estimate here. So I have 4 5/5. So that 5/6 is almost a whole. So 1 plus 4 equals 5 minus 3/4. That's almost a whole. So 1 plus 2 is 3. If I subtract 5 from 3, I get 2. Do we have a common denominator? No, so we need to find one. 4, 8, 12. I don't have to go any further because I know my multiples of 6. So we have 12 over 12. How did I get from 6 to 12? I took it times 2. So what I do to my denominator, I have to do my numerator. I have 10. How did I get from 4 to 12? I took it times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. I get 1/12. Now I still have to subtract my whole numbers. 4 take away 2 is 2. Last thing I have to ask myself is it in the simplest form? 1 is the simplest number. Is that reasonable? Well, 2 and 1/12. 1/12 is 0, so 2. Yep, I'd say I'm good. All right. Use the common denominator to write the equivalent fraction. Here we go. So, first of all, I'm adding. I got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 is my common denominator. What I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. 5 times 4, 8. And 4 times 5, 15. I add those together. I get 23. I have to stop right there because what do I have? An improper fraction. So I have to ask ourselves, how many times does 20 go into 23? One whole one. I'm going to put it up there because I've got to carry it. That one whole one is worth 20. 20. What do I have left? 3 over 20. Now I'm going to go do my whole numbers. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Now I'm going to put it together. 12 and 3/20. I have to ask myself one last question. Do I have it in the simplest form? 3 is a prime number. Can it go into 20? No. So my answer is 12 and 3/20. So sometimes you're going to have to carry just like we do in addition. So let's practice a couple of these together. I want you to figure out number 2 and come back and see if you got the same answer as I did. I got 7 and 1/20. Okay, let's do the same thing for the next one. Go ahead and look and see if I had to carry. All right, do the next one, please. I got 7 and 1/12. I had to carry. If you didn't get that, re-look it over. And let's do the last one together. And then we'll move on. Okay, I'm rating mine up and down because that works best for me. I know 5, 10. So 10 is my common denominator. I can just move 3/10 over. Times 2, 8, 11/10. I know that's an improper fraction, so I carry my 1. And I subtract 10/10 from that, and I get 1/10. I go over here and add. I get 6, 6 and 1/10. All right. I want you to work these with your partner. Let's pick 2 from here to do with your partner. Pick 3. Pick 2 from this row and 1 from this row. Pick 3 of these to work with your partner. I would like you to go deeper on one of these. I don't care which one. And once you've done all those with your partner and you both have agreed, do your homework. Let's see. Let's do 2, 4, 6, and 8. And both story problems and all of the back. Okay, adding and subtracting mixed fractions. Tomorrow we'll go deeper into subtracting.